Welcome back to some of the best stories from r/TalesFromTechSupport. I hope you had a great day. Thanks for all the likes and comments on the last video. And now let's take a look at the first story. It's called New Printers. At my workplace, we recently tackled a project to replace our aging fleet of printers across the organization. It was a pretty big undertaking, but we had a solid team on it, and everything was carefully planned to ensure a smooth rollout. To start, we decided to replace the printer in the IT department first. The reasoning was simple. If anything went wrong, it wouldn't upset anyone outside of IT. Plus, since everyone in IT knew about the project, they'd be more likely to report any issues instead of ignoring them. We set up the new IT printer, and after a week, there were no reports of issues. Everything seemed to be working perfectly. Feeling confident, we moved on to replace the next printer in another department. That's when the trouble started. Suddenly, we were getting a flood of reports about problems with the new printer. Confused, we spent about an hour troubleshooting, trying to figure out what was going wrong. Nothing about this printer should have been different, so the issue didn't make any sense. Then someone on the systems team had a light bulb moment and decided to check the IT printer. Turns out it had the exact same problems. The catch? Nobody in IT had actually used it in the entire week it was installed. Since IT rarely prints anything, the printer had been sitting there untouched the whole time. Thankfully, the issues were minor and quickly fixed, and the rest of the rollout went off without a hitch. But it was definitely a valuable lesson in the difference between asking, does the printer work? And did anyone actually use the printer? The next story is called Typing Fast. Years ago, there was a network appliance running over a slightly dodgy Ethernet cable. Why the cable wasn't replaced is a mystery lost to time, but it created some interesting challenges. The person setting it up, not me, I promise, noticed that some of the network traffic was getting lost. Their solution? They decided the best way to handle it was to type really fast. They set up a long password that would normally require 2 hands to type, but they made sure to type it as quickly as humanly possible. Then came the warning to everyone else. You have to log in while typing really fast because of packet loss. Sure enough, if you typed the password at a normal speed, the login would fail almost every time. But even when typing really fast, you only got in about 1 out of 3 times. After a while, the real reason for the login trouble was discovered. It wasn't about typing speed. It was that typing fast caused a specific typo by swapping 2 letters in the password. And to log in successfully, you had to make the exact same typo every time. The third story is called Click the Mouse. I had been working in the IT department of my organization for several years, and by that point I thought I'd seen it all when it came to user issues. Turns out I was wrong. One day, while I was handling the first line of support, I received a call from a newly hired employee. She was having trouble starting a program required for her work. I asked her what was happening, and she replied, I click on the program and it does not start. Since I hadn't received any reports of system-wide issues, I asked her if double-clicking the icon displayed any error messages. I clicked twice and nothing, she said. At this point, I wanted to see for myself what was going on. Every workstation in our company has a help desk program that lets us remotely connect to troubleshoot issues. So I asked her to run it. It doesn't work either, she replied. Okay, I thought, now we are getting somewhere. I then asked, does the cursor move on the screen when you move the mouse? Yes, she said. When I move the mouse, something moves. After several more minutes of trying to gather information, I couldn't determine anything remotely useful, except the department she worked in, which had a large number of workstations. Before heading over there, I tried one last thing. I asked her to take a spare mouse from the department's equipment storage and plug it in. This is already the second mouse, she replied. At that point I thought, alright, this might be something worse. I briefly considered asking her to change the USB port, but decided it would be faster to go there in person. So I asked for her room number and headed over. When I arrived, she was waiting for me. Before I even sat down at her desk, I asked her to show me how she was trying to start the program. She picked up the mouse and said, "Well, I'm pointing at the icon and I'm clicking twice, but nothing happens." Then she demonstrated. She pointed at the program icon and then grabbed the entire mouse and hit it twice on the mousepad. See, I click and nothing happens. Yes, I think you are thinking exactly what I was thinking at that moment. To her credit, she was an older person and completely new to using a computer. The issue was resolved once I taught her how to click properly. The last story is called Too Nice. I don't formally work in IT, but I have a side business helping seniors and older adults navigate the world of technology. Many of my clients live in our retirement community, just 5 to 7 minutes down the road, including one very sweet elderly lady who feels like a third grandmother to me. Her daughter visits from DC about once a month, and I stop by to say hello. Inevitably, during these visits, the daughter pulls out her laptop and asks, "Why is it running so slow?" So I take a look, and every time she has 15 to 20 Word documents open, some with 3 copies of the same file. I explain it to her. You have too many things open at once, and it's clogging up your computer's memory. Look here, I say, opening Task Manager. You are using 80 to 85% of your computer's memory. Basically, your computer is stuck in a traffic jam. I've learned that using real-world examples makes it easier for people to understand. She nods and says, "Okay, so I need to close some of the tabs?" "No, you need to close all of them. You can't read 15 articles at the same time, so why have them all open?" She writes it down, promising to close her tabs and windows. Fast forward a month, and she's back with the same issue. Her computer is slow again, and when I check, all those windows are open, yet again. I just shake my head and smile, wondering why I'm so nice. Thanks for watching the video to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And if you have time, watch another one of my videos. Also, if you want to support me further, check out the channel membership or Patreon. And now, I hope you have a great day. See you soon. Bye bye.